Howdy doody, friends, and welcome to the Mad Painter Show. Today, we're not going to be discussing anything brand new, but it's going to be a slightly new topic because everything is about becoming our best self. And I've recognized in all of this studying and years of studying, a lot has to do with how we think. And this talk is going to be all about kicking those negative thoughts out, learning how to tell your brain to shut up, and telling it some other things because, sometimes even though when we get it to shut up and it shuts up, we also have to tell it to do some other things because, now we in charge. It ain't working us, we working it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I have my notes today, and I'm not going to have us find any pens or anything, so you don't have to put me on pause. But I will be discussing some things that you may want to consider taking some notes on, okay? So I'm going to look at my notes so I won't be forgetting what the heck I'm supposed to be talking about. And so in looking at the television of our minds anyway, I paid attention to how we have visuals and words, okay? And sometimes those visuals and words be kind of linking up and it be like, oh, fear, oh, it be trying to make us scared, like, oh, don't go there, like, ooh, Mufasa. Or is it Mustafa? It's Mufasa. So, and looking at this, we want to, because what came to mind, and I've heard people talk about it, what is that? People who have like ADHD. I've heard a couple of people say they have all these different thoughts going through at different times. It's almost like a train and it's so many of them going past. And so what we're training our mind to do, at least in these beginning stages, is that we're working on now paying attention of those thoughts that come through our mind. Because how are we going to know what to kick out? How are we going to know what's not benefiting us if we're not paying attention to it? Now, in past videos, I have talked about, baby, don't let it work you. You work it. You know what I'm saying? You work it. You work it. You don't let it work you. You do the daggone thing. So, in part of you putting your brain to work is awareness. And that awareness comes in us paying attention to what are those carts that are flying by. Because, in all those little train carts, is something in those carts. And so now we're going to, no matter, I don't care how fast your train is going, you have the ability now to slow it down and observe what are these thoughts that are coming to my mind on a daily basis. We can sit there and reflect on that right now. Typically in the mornings when you wake up, what comes to mind? I mean, on a typical morning, something may happen the night before, which may have. Yes, Panthro. Okay, Panthro, we'll talk later, okay? Let me finish doing the video. So something may have happened the night before, which may have set your mind off and had you talking some kind of way. It could have had you feeling extra giddy. It could have had you mad. Either way, the good things and the bad things have a way of distracting you from your purpose of being your best self. Because when you be more, you do more. And then to do more, you have more. Because another thing I've paid attention to, when you skip that be more part and you focus more on the doing and having, somewhere in the midst of you getting it, because you done did it and now you got it, you bored than a mug, sitting there looking like, what to do next. But when you're in the habit and practice of being more, which our thinking comes down to that, you're going to constantly be in the place of always wanting to do more. Because when you're in the habit of being more, putting that practice in, that follow the drip, follow the drip, follow the drip. That drip that's going in when you're putting in that practice to take time out and invest in you, invest in the things that you're interested in, it's going to fill you up and you're going to overflow. And so that is that overflowing. Okay, let's go in this form, human form, and this flesh bag form, and this meat bag. So here, when we're here and your cup is running over in the inside, that's that energy. Because now, since you've become in the habit of putting in that time to do this and putting in that work to do that, like exercise, you may start off being able to walk that couple of blocks. For the next few days, week or so, you'll be able to walk a few blocks. Next thing you know, you walking a mile, boy, you slightly jogging a block or two. You know what I'm saying? So it picks up the more you continue to get in the habit of making up your mind and doing it. Like, I'm gonna wake up and do this. So back on your, what are you thinking about every day? And so if you're starting off in the mornings and you realize that your thinking isn't purposeful, it's doing more making you feel down, depressed, or sometimes you can be overly happily. Again, we're looking at this because okay, I get the whole feeling thing. I get it, honey. I get it. But right now, we like F them feelings because we on a mission. And there are times when, yes, we have to recognize our feelings, recognize where we are and what's going on with us. Sometimes we got to take our shoes off and get grounded because, you know, we be highly stimulated. And then this comes to, we have all these things on our mind. And baby, I'm getting to it. And this comes to where we have to go into kicking it out. And we are recognizing to what's happening with us. This awareness on the outside, this awareness on the inside. So with these thoughts, you want to start paying attention to these thoughts. And when these thoughts are just going in, you gotta pay attention. Stop it. And so in the midst of this silence, because if we haven't yet been in the practice of silencing our mind and learning how to get it to a place of being comfortable in that silence, which I've talked about other videos way back when, but which I will talk about this later on. So we're in the we're in the process of working and getting it to a place to shush for a minute, and then to getting you to a neutral place where it's like, hey, we're hopping and we're moving. It's time to get this thing going. Get up off of that thing and end up on it. I don't know the words to that song, but I felt the groove. So, hey, well, since I started with the song, we'll go with music. When you recognize your mind is, and it's not serving no purpose, and it's bringing you down, or it has you feeling anxious or angry or something, cut some music on. Don't cut that sad song on that make you think of someone so that you want to keep it on repeat, and you just want to be in the shower crying like, what? Not that song, please, no. Put on something that is like, make you feel good, super exciting, make you feel empowering, make you feel like you standing on business and making you take care of your business, you know? So the other thing is, and I realized I didn't write this on the list, but I wrote it last. I need to go ahead and put that on there. Get in the habit of waking up in the morning, shutting your mind up and being thankful. Like, get in the habit of being thankful. Get in the habit of being prayerful, praying in thanks. Just blend them two together. and it automatically is going to shift them. And I mean genuinely. Not just a thing where you're, yeah, good morning, thank you, I'm here, all right, let's get this thing going. So no, it's just actually getting a place where you're just, I tell you this, you'll recognize there are going to be times, especially when you make up your mind, like, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. You're going to start waking up early. Especially if you're in a place where there are multiple people in your house, you're going to start waking up before them so you can actually get in a place where you can have quiet time. If you are by yourself, baby, take advantage. And whenever you wake up and it's quiet, take advantage. So get into a place where you are purposely and intentionally putting yourself in a place to be prepared for the day, to get your mind set right, to get your mind like, hey, whatever's going up in there, shh, I got something for you to do. I got some instructions and I need you to listen, okay? And your mind is just going to be like, okay. So you have music, the being thankful and praying. You also have research. The things that you may be interested in or you may be kind of eerie about, research it. Let me not go to the don't. There's a difference between conspiracy theory information, and this is with anything, conspiracy theory information and you going out to actually research the facts, the truth, like what's really going on with this, what is the deal. So get it from an example, a neutral point of view, maybe, so to speak, but somebody who is willing to explain even like the pros and the cons, etc. That the first thing that came to mind was, because I think I got the kids. I heard the kids screaming, kind of slightly threw me off. The first thing that came to mind was I was listening to, I believe he was a rabbi, but he was giving, and he was doing a lot of studying. This is like way off the topic, but he was doing a lot of studying on demonology because he had a whole bunch of these videos, but he decided to talk about the God of Isaac, Abraham, and Jacob. Is the first one Isaac? I don't know, but that guy, because this is not in my notes, but it just came to me. But he was just, as far as the God who they consider Yahweh. And so he was doing it because it was a whole bunch of names that came through my mind because he has a whole bunch of names. But he was breaking down the perspective from the Old Testament to the New Testament, and how he broke it down from a neutral point of view was really like, wow, that was kind of dope. And like I said, it was a rabbi, and then him explaining this from like a fatherly perspective. Anyway, it was dope. But it's best to get information when you're researching these things out. It's best to get this information from people who, I really want to say, just really want to give you the information. They want to deliver it to you. They're not at a place where they're trying to make you believe and persuade you in what they're saying, but they're just like, this is what's going on and this is what's happening here and this, and this. It's like they're kind of giving it to you from a neutral point of view. Like, here's the plate. Do with it as you will. Yes, Panther, here, get in the chair. So the next one we have practicing silencing and clearing the mind. So I mentioned that a little bit earlier, but the clearing the mind thing, when you have a lot of clutter and stuff on your mind, it's difficult. Just like, think of a room. It's difficult to put something else in there to fit something there because it's already too much stuff there. Now you're looking like, okay, hold this because I need to get rid of this and make space for this. But when you already have space there, you're prepared to receive. So you want to, this is why we're looking at the train tracks. The train moving thing and all these different carts. And now you want to pay attention and start getting rid of the stuff that it's not serving you any purpose. What so-and-so had on, they booty looking like this and they look there. Whatever it is that you're either judging others of, couldn't forgive somebody of, whatever. We've talked about minding our business. Baby, when I tell you that is so beneficial. There is so much growth in minding your business. There is so much, because in minding, I'm just saying minding and businesses, here it is, and us discussing and being our best self. It has a lot to do with where we're going in our mind. And it also has a lot to do with our own business, baby. Our own business, and becoming our best self has a lot to do with our own business that we are minding to. I don't know why that seemed like came to like a coal mine, which is like connected to the diamonds, and you know what I'm saying, because it's diamonds in that there hills, but it's gold. Oh my God, I'm hearing so many voices. Let me look at my notes. So my note says, as far as the cleaning out, you need to declutter and getting rid of all this negative thoughts and the stuff that's not serving you any purpose. Is allowing you to declutter, so when it comes time to receive, what these people are talking about, whatever it is that you're studying, that you need to receive, that you need to work on and meditate on, and give a couple of days to, or whatever it is, you now have the space to do it, because you don't have all of these emotions. Let me change that. You won't have all of these emotions in your thoughts, all of these thoughts in your mind that are ruling your emotions, that's getting you distracted from what you need to be focused on, which is your best self, because that's what's going to be putting your hands and your mind to the work that it needs to be doing. And then so it won't be no idle playground for the devil, because if you ain't got nothing to do, he's like, oh, snap, you ain't got nothing to do. La-di-da-di-da. So, what am I saying on this second note page? Places where we are stuck. Okay, so in this, here we are getting rid of stuff in our minds. And you're getting in a place where we're getting rid of the idle hands, because after we've gotten rid of the stuff in our minds, we're cutting on music, we're praying, because this is not just one day thing. This is stuff that we're recognizing within ourselves, and we're purposely starting off our day somewhere on a higher note, so to speak. And then once we're recognizing our peace is taken from us, because let me not say our peace is taken from us, but we have been removed from peace, because this is the whole thing about protecting your peace. This is a part of protecting your peace, because in having peace and recognizing that you have peace, then you know what you're protecting. And now it's like when something is coming in to disrupt that, now you know what the fight is about. Because it's like, oh no, you ain't coming up in here. Because it's when you have this peace and are aware of this peace in your mind, body, and soul, you will be willing to protect it, because you are not going to want nobody. That is a jewel. It is see the bling bling? It's all the bling bling. It's so bright and shiny. And that is like the jewel of peace, because it is so bright and so shining. Dear God, you got to put your glasses on, because and so you want that peace, because anytime it's shading and something is disrupted, you feel it immediately. There is a strong sensitivity and awareness to that, where it's like, oh girl, from Friday on, who is that is disrupting my peace? Whoever's seen Friday, they will know what I am talking about. So this is the part where I went on in and praying and studying and so forth, but I mentioned that earlier. So we're just gonna skip on down to this next part. And so when I was writing this out, I was visualizing the body, because I'm constantly talking about the lower parts, where you be hungry and they be like, we need us something to eat. So yes. So we're looking at that lower part and in that higher part. And so I was thinking about the body, right? When I wrote this part out. So if we focus on the low, our rewards will only be low. But we be wanting some rewards higher than that, because you know them low rewards, they be super temporary, and ain't nobody got time. Hold on. Ain't nobody got time for that, Craig. Okay, so, but if we focus on, if we focus on the high, we're constantly going to this crown. Got the people talking about the crown chakras and so forth and so on. So if we're focusing on the high, it's like we're able to, get the rewards for the other things. Because when you the rewards, that reward system it's totally different. And it feels grand. It feels good, but I mean, you can experience it better than I can tell you. Because I mean, I can show you. I'm only showing you so much, but it depends on how much you want to listen to in these videos. You know what I'm saying? Because this is how I'm showing it to you. Let me get back to my notes. Okay, so what does your best self look like? And in the midst of asking this question, Because in doing a vision board, like if you were doing this in a vision board, what would your best self look like? But not with material stuff. Like, I want to be dressed like this. I want to have this kind of car and these kind of clothes. No. What would that characteristic of your best, those characteristics, what would those look like? What would they look like? What would you look like? That's what I want you to have on your vision board. That's what I want you to be looking at, because that's part of what's also going to be. So remember, in the beginning of this video, I mentioned as far as words and visuals. Well, this is going to be what's going to help you replace the visual, because what does this characteristic of you that you really want to shine, that is going to be your best self, what does that look like? Because in using that and in looking at that, honey, it ain't gonna take your worst mind. It ain't gonna take your worst mind to look at it, because your worst mind can't see it. It can't comprehend what that look like, bruh. So it's like, I'm gonna need you to start using your best mind to start. So it's like, this is part of how you working on getting to the best mind, because you got to get rid of them negative thoughts that's not serving you no purpose. And when you start looking and eating that stuff that's like, food, that's purpose. All this stuff's about here, purpose. Know what I'm saying? All I'm going to say is that I pray every single time before I do these videos. It'd be like, Lord, whatever you got for the people, go ahead and do your thing. So that DMX, God bless DMX. What you really want from? So this is what I want from y'all, because I'm trying to let you know. This is your best self. I'm trying to hold that in. I'm so happy I'm trying to work on not cussing on here. I was about to let that whole song just go. Okay, so start becoming what your best self looks like. Start thinking about that. Replace that stuff. If you watching garbage on TV, garbage in, garbage out. Same thing with what we're listening to. Let's make a habit of starting to replace these things. I can't get that DMX song out of my head now. Let's start replacing these things and putting purpose on there. I love y'all. God loves you too. Find out why. What you really want. So that's what I want from y'all. Find out your purpose and put that purpose in your visual, and because that's what we working on. Not your worst self, because we don't need your worst mind. We need your best. So that's what we working on. And drip, drip, drip. I love you guys. I'm trying to get rid of that DMX song. Like, share, subscribe if this helped you. And yep, I said all of that stuff. Oh, my brain. See you guys later. Have a great day. I'll see you in a couple of days.